The club vowed to ban from Ellen Road fans who chanted and jeered during a minute's silence for Sir Matt Busby. And now, as Tim Singleton reports, club officials are trying to identify the troublemakers from video and press photographs.
It took only 60 seconds for the so-called supporters of Leeds United to make their mark. They sung and chanted throughout the minute's silence for Sir Matt Busby. The Leeds players on the right trying to quieten them. Moments later, Gordon Strachan showing his disgust. While the Blackburn crowd stood silent, the Leeds supporters could be clearly heard. Afterwards, their actions condemned by most of the crowd. Today, condemned also by their own club.
When you do have a period like you had yesterday, when we were asked for 1 minute to honour a man that had given a great deal to football, then what can you say to them? They're a disgrace to the club, and they're a disgrace to the city, and they're certainly a disgrace to football.
This morning's headlines were unanimous. The Leeds board have faxed an apology to Old Trafford. They'll meet tomorrow to consider a blanket ban on ticket sales for away matches, and have promised to ban from Elland Road any supporter identified as being involved. At a Leeds supporters fanzine, the Trans-Pennine rivalry has become too much.
Thinking about it probably yesterday morning, I would have said hating your rivals is as much a part of football as loving your own club, but there's limits, and probably now it may be time to rethink that.
Outside Old Trafford today, the condemnation was rising.
That's the way they are, isn't it? I think it's just a majority of a bunch of idiots that follow the Leeds club, and they're just giving them a bad name.
We were so sorry for Leeds United yesterday because they worked so hard to improve relations and to educate supporters.
For Leeds United, the question now is how to overcome the shame.
Then yesterday at Blackburn, during the 1 minute silence to Sir Matt Busby, the fans once again let both Leeds United and the city down. Leslie Silver, the chairman, has apologised to Manchester United, and as Mark Calvert reports, he's vowed to rid the club of the fans involved.
A minute's silence had already been respectfully observed at most league grounds, but before United's match at Blackburn yesterday, the tribute to Sir Matt was marred by Leeds fans chanting the name of their own legendary manager, the late Don Revie.
One of the options that we have, of course, is just refusing to take hands to away games, because we can't stand for this childish attitude, this totally inane attitude. It's something that we've got to try and stamp out.
At Manchester United, where Sir Matt spent most of his career, any ill feeling was reserved for the Leeds fans and not the club.
We've had a letter of apology from Leeds United, from the directors, from the players, from the management and staff. We've had personal phone calls from them as well. No one could have worked harder at Leeds at trying to remove this minority, and they're just devastated, and our sympathy goes out to them.
But as Leeds tried to limit the damage to the club's reputation, some supporters saw some justification for the chanting, arguing that Don Revie too deserved but never received a nationwide tribute.
Matt Busby, obviously there's well thought of over there, but it meant nothing to me personally. Don't wish any harm on him, but I think the club should have said we don't want the minute's silence, because it won't be stuck to.
I can in no way condone the actions of these fans that cause this kind of disturbance, but in their own view they feel they were making a protest. They think that each club had its famous manager or famous player, and they perhaps didn't get the national minute silence. They feel that the minute silence for Matt Busby should have been reserved to Old Trafford.
Pictures of the game are being studied ahead of tomorrow's meeting of the United board. It's determined that those responsible for bringing such shame on the club are punished.
Good to see the club's reaction anyway. Now.